Keeping an entire village happy is a massive task on its own, let alone having to keep them fed and stocked with resources to utilize and sell for profit. In Manor Lords, there are many mechanics and features that take complexity to a whole new level, including growing your population without accidentally causing a village-wide famine along the way. In this guide, we will discuss how to grow your population in Manor Lords, how to keep the villagers alive and thriving, and the major downsides to growing the population before you're fully prepared. Growing the population is somewhat easy in itself, as you need to build burgage plots for them to live in. The key here is that you need to have at least a 50% approval rating in order to get new villagers to want to move into your bustling town. To do that, you need to have ample food and fuel for everyone to remain alive and warm, especially for the winter. There are several ways to get food, each with their own advantages and disadvantages. You could create a hunting camp near a spawn point of wild animals, which gives you a nice, quick, and easy supply of food and leather all year round, but you need to be careful not to overhunt and lose the resource for good. Berries, on the other hand, can be picked by making and assigning workers to a forager hut, but they are seasonal and this resource will start disappearing once winter rolls around. One of the best ways to get a ton of food is by building a farmhouse, farmland, a windmill, and a communal oven. Make the farmland fairly large so that you have an overflow of wheat, which can be turned into flour and then baked into bread. The downside of farming is, of course, the long wait time between harvests and the fact that you need to give the soil some time to refertilize after a few plentiful years of growing. You will also need to give villagers jobs to do and build a marketplace in order to give them a place to sell off their goods to the other villagers. The marketplace is a great way to boost morale in the village, as it gives everyone a chance to purchase foods, clothing items, ingots, and more to take care of their families. Another key item is the well, which is used not only for farmland, but fresh water for the townspeople. Roads will also need to be built to connect pretty much everything you build, so that the villagers can use carts to transport items more efficiently and place other items in storage houses or granaries. Once you get that approval rating to 50% and ensure you have enough supplies to cater to new villagers, it's time to start building burgage plots. And scaling as you grow is key, as it's very easy to get carried away and acquire too many villagers at once. This will cause you to run low on food stocks and end up making your villagers sick. Another great way to get food stocks nice and high is by having a large amount of level 1 burgage plots and upgrading them. These food upgrades allow the burgage plots to create eggs or vegetables, which can be brought to the market and sold as another food source. While just above 50%, villagers will move in slowly. If you get that rating to say 90 or 100%, the population will grow much more rapidly. But again, ensure you have enough food and resources to keep up with the number of people making their way to the village. Now that you have more and more people moving in, it's time to keep them happy and fed. Villagers are pretty simple, and they need basics to get by. They need faith, which comes from building a wooden church. They need entertainment, which comes from building the tavern that we mentioned earlier. And they need food, fuel, and a marketplace to sell their goods to the other villagers. They will also need other basic supplies like firewood, planks, clothes, and other industry items to create and sell. This is the best way to not only keep them happy, but thriving in general, as they need money to help build the town even further, and selling off their goods raises the approval rating. Though you do want to grow your village, there can be a major downside to growing the population before you are fully prepared. Your villagers will die, and they will get sick if you don't have enough food and fuel to keep up with the number of people within the village. Food stocks can deplete a lot quicker than you think, especially if you use the fast forward tool to make things go even quicker. More mouths to feed means more food to create in order to stop an entire town from starving. More people and homes also means more fuel to keep those homes up and running, and ensure that it's nice and toasty warm for the winter. More people also means that they will want more supply options within the marketplace. If you don't keep up with the demand for all these things, your approval rating will drop very quickly, and townspeople will become sick and pass away from lack of food, fuel, and other necessities. To avoid this, make sure to always be checking the number of months before supplies like food and fuel will run out of stock. The number of months on the icon will also turn red when you are below a certain amount of stock months, which helps to see exactly when things might take a turn for the worse. Also be aware that during the winter months, fuel consumption is doubled, and of course, without firewood, your villagers will freeze. Seasonal resources will also become unavailable, such as berries out in the wild. This means that you have to be certain you have enough resources to make it through to the summer months. That's going to do it for this guide on growing your population in Manor Lords. For more, head on over to our growing wiki pages. And as always, for all things gaming, stick with IGN.